And welcome once again to Relationships at Work, the leadership guide to creating a workplace we love. I'm your host, Russel Lolacher, a communications and leadership nerd with a couple of decades of experience in both those areas, and also something I've taken with me, curiosity, on how we can lead and work together to improve workplace cultures and employee experiences. This show, a great resource to help us with that. Every week on the show, I talk with a local or global leader on topics that are relevant and meaningful to us to improve the workplace. We've tackled such topics as negativity, culture renovation, plain language, activism, empathy, burnout, mental health. The list goes on and on and on, and you can absolutely dig back into our previous episodes. They are useful anytime. They are evergreen content and always there available to you to help move your own workplace forward into a positive direction. And now, as an added bonus, I'm sharing mini episodes, additional episodes pulled from the pages of our weekly Raw Notes, which I recommend you still subscribe to. They're months ahead of where these episodes are. This is just a quick, under 10-minute valuable bit of information on top of our regular show to help you on your way to work or to start your day in any way you like. So the Raw Note I'm passing on to you this week is For the Love of the Night Owl. Diversity and inclusivity are regular topics of conversation on this show, and they should be. One of the big reasons is that diversity covers a lot of ground. Some of it is not very obvious. For example, how about in the way we work? And in the way we work best? In how our energy and focus show up? Because it's not the same for everybody. And yet we approach a workday, the 9 to 5, almost consistently the same. Hey, it's even really popular to get up earlier and earlier to start that day. But that's not for everybody. I'm talking about night owls. These are those people that are far more focused and productive later in the day than in the early morning. I had a great chat with productivity expert and our former guest Mike Vardy about night owls because, spoiler alert, he is one. We discussed how in a world that celebrates starting the day early as a measure of motivation, 5 a.m. club, 4 a.m. club, it's getting insane. Those are all parts of these badges of honor. Night owls, in all that, are undervalued and, quite frankly, misunderstood. In 1926, let's go back a bit here. 100 years, Henry Ford, founder of the Ford Motor Company, started the concept of a 5-day, 40-hour work week for his assembly line workers. It was actually down from much longer hours of work. The 9 to 5 workday was actually created to serve the needs of business leaders who ran manufacturing plants that relied upon lots of people standing on assembly lines. I found that in Forbes. But what it really says is you're robots. You're cogs in a machine, because it was an assembly line, and that's where they wanted people to stand and do repetitive motions throughout their day, and then they were done. They were basically moving widgets across a conveyor belt. Like I said, robots. The world has changed a lot. The nature of our work has also changed. And generally, we haven't shifted that much from this traditional model of 100 years ago. It doesn't sound very innovative, does it? So where does that leave night owls? Night owls and their productive energy shows up differently. It peaks differently. So if we're looking at the traditional model, we're not getting their best work. We're never helping them be seen. We're never looking or personalizing them and go, how could we get the best from you and that you feel more included and valued? So if we're talking about diversity at work, are we considering how our employees best operate? Or are we stuck in an early bird gets the worm as the only way of operating? What if starting work quote unquote late or sending emails after hours is actually what some team members need? And for leaders, truthfully, to embrace, not criticize. I almost feel like it comes under that umbrella of those that have a problem with remote work or hybrid work, where they look at it and go, well, that's not how I became successful. That's not how I see how our culture should be built. It's like they're rigid because they can only see it through their own experience and not the experience of others. I see night owls being very much the same theme because I got up super early because that was what was expected of me. Okay, but is that the best thing to do? Is it the best approach for our employees who might work differently and actually will feel more valued if we see them for who they are and how they work? Let's instead consider how each of our employees work best and how best we can capitalize on it to improve the workplace and help improve inclusivity and maybe even improve productivity. Let's better love our night owls. So consider these steps when embracing those nocturnal types. Number 1, flexible scheduling. Night owls tend to be more productive and alert during the later hours of the day. Therefore, if we offer flexible scheduling options, such as evening shifts, night shifts, this can allow night owls to work during their most productive hours. Isn't that better for the organization? Here's another. Accommodate work environments. Night owls may find it easier to work in a dimly lit environment with fewer distractions because they're used to working at night. And if we provide adjustable lighting and soundproof workplaces, it can help create a more conducive environment for night owls to focus and be productive. It's not a one-size-fits-all, and yet that's how most organizations see it. And last, encourage breaks. Encouraging night owls to take regular breaks can actually help them to stay alert and focused. Night owls actually might find it beneficial to take more frequent breaks during their shift and to take longer breaks in the middle of their shifts to recharge. I know, it sounds different, and it is, but that's what diversity, inclusivity, and equity are all about, is recognizing the individual, recognizing how they prefer to work and best work. If we truly want to embrace things like innovation, DEIB, then we need to take the actions that actually help with those mantras. And that includes looking at old ways of working, considering what might work best for our teams on a personal level, and then adjust, review, to make it a better place to work and to be productive. Because isn't that what we all want? So for the benefits of the company, and to show true leadership, and to really embrace diversity and inclusivity, let's love the night owl. And on that note of love, what a great place to end it. That'll do it for another Raw Note episode of Relationships at Work, the leadership guide to creating a workplace we love. I'm Russel Lolacher. Thank you so much for joining. If you want to see our smiling faces, me and my guests, I recommend you go check out our YouTube channel. Relationships at Work has a newly launched YouTube channel where you get to see me talk with some pretty big brains about all the topics that matter around employee experience, leadership, and workplace culture. I hope you take some time to join us over there. And thank you so much for your support. It means the world. Take care.